Okay, first, let's get a tiny insignificant thing out the way. The Indiana Fever signed a 6'2" Australian rookie to a 7-day contract. Cool, she's averaging a mind blowing 6.4 points, as you guys can see on the screen. And I'm sure she'll be a real game changer since it's not a hardship deal. They could just keep stringing her along as long as she doesn't stink up the joint. And my first thought when I heard this, does this mean they're fully giving Brianna Turner the boot? We got a new face. She gets cut. Sounds like a classic win-win situation to me. But honestly, who cares? That's a footnote and a total nothing burger. The real story, the one that should be sending systemic shockwaves through the Indiana Fever front office, is the storm brewing around Caitlin Clark. And I'm about to show you something that should genuinely terrify Fever management. And this goes way beyond one stupid ad campaign. This is a fan poll that exposes a fatal flaw in their entire business model. Forget the corporate speak and the marketing fluff for a minute and just look at the cold, hard data. A poll on X, formerly known as Twitter, asks one simple, absolutely brutal question. If Caitlin Clark leaves the Fever, would you still support the team? And the results, as you guys can see, weren't just a win, they were a complete and total landslide. Nearly 77% of voters said, nope, see ya. And they'll pack their bags and follow Clark to whatever team she landed on. And I can already hear the excuses. It was only 115 votes. Well, this time it's 3,337 votes. And you got 75% saying they're going to pack their bags. And if that poll doesn't send a cold shiver down the spine of every single executive in that building, then they're not paying attention. And I have been screaming this, and I actually been saying this and reiterating this. If it ever comes down to a choice, the Fever will fire their entire coaching staff before they let Caitlin Clark walk out the door. The economic devastation would be that catastrophic. And if you need more proof, let's move on. If you need more proof, this isn't just some angry fans on Twitter. Look at this insanity you guys see on the screen. Caitlin Clark's um flawless rookie card, right? A single piece of cardboard just sold at auction for $660,000. And let me say that again, $660,000. That ain't just staggering. I'm pretty sure that number completely shatters the all-time record for a women's sports card, a record previously held by the legend herself, Serena Williams. And this isn't just a fun little trivia fact. This is a hard, quantifiable proof of Caitlin Clark's commercial power. And it's on a completely different planet. When one player has that kind of gravitational pull, it fundamentally changes the entire franchise, and it proves that 77% of fans in that poll are not bluffing. And right now, she is the Indiana Fever, and her value is being written in ticket sales, TV ratings, and now in a $500,000 trading cards. So I gotta ask, and am I the only one seeing this? Is the Caitlin Clark situation in Indiana as fragile as it looks? And maybe more importantly, is Gatorade's new slogan the single worst, most deftone campaign slogan in modern history? Let me know. Rip it apart in the comments below because I genuinely want to know what you guys think. So let's go to the main event, the absolute PR dumpster fire that is the new Gatorade campaign. Right before All-Star Weekend, they dropped this massive new WNBA ad series, and the genius slogan that they landed on was "Let her cook," quote unquote. So I'm not kidding. You can't make this stuff up. The internet, as you expect, lost its collective mind. The jokes about sending women back to the kitchen were so obvious when I looked through the comments and mined through things, and they practically wrote themselves. Headlines started popping up everywhere with one screaming, Gatorade sets women sports back decades. The memes are a work of art. We got Mad Men memes, old Yahoo answer threads about making sandwiches, and even memes from Star Wars got dragged into this glorious mess. And you can go look it up on X, formerly known as Twitter. And people are mercilessly torching this campaign. And we'll get in the article in a minute. And you have to sit here and wonder, did a single person at Gatorade or the WNBA think this through more than 5 seconds? Or, and this is my conspiracy brain or my speculation, and it's just my opinion, did they know? Was this a calculated disaster to go viral, even if it meant being seen as the most out of touch campaign of the year? Either way, the optics are just brutal. It was a completely self inflicted, cringeworthy wound from a corporate giant that just proved how clueless they are, and they still are. So let's get into this article. It says Gatorade sets women's sports back decades with unfortunate WNBA slogan. Well, at least Gatorade tried. That's all we ask for in life. You win some, you lose some, but at least you give it your best. And that's what we going on right now as it pertains to the WNBA. The marketing department was handed Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Paige Buckers, and Sophia Cunningham and asked to sell some sports drinks. And it should have been easy. After all, the WNBA is climbing right now. The whole pay us what you owe us stink aside, the sport is easily at the top of his game right now. So this should have been a layup for Gatorade. Except like Angel Reese on a breakaway, they missed. Somehow they missed. And as you guys can see the campaign and what I showed you on the screen. And people are saying Gatorade might want to rethink their new WNBA ad campaign. So tough look here for the WNBA Gatorade. 'Cause you got, oh no, come on, Gatorade. You better than this. Did nobody at Gatorade headquarters edit this one before releasing it to the wild? I mean, come on. Slap and let her cook on a giant banner with a bunch of women behind it feels like something should have made maybe hit the pause button. Objectively, this is funny. The joke is serious. It's obviously it's not what Gatorade intended, but society doesn't operate like that. We're fickle creatures. We are sickos. We like to laugh, which is why we don't watch Colbert, right? So this is the whole campaign. This is what people are saying. And to be honest, family, just to cut through the lines, because I like to keep it real and cut through the bull crap, they're basically saying, and people looking at it like disrespectfully, y'all worrying about getting paid in the league that's not even self-sufficient, that's not even profitable. So get y'all behinds back in the kitchen and stop focusing on drama girl basketball, because as it known back then, back in the day, obviously we know gender roles play a part in the traditional family, and women were known to be stay-at-home moms. Women were known to make sure they nurture and take care of the kids and not actually come out here and try to work and be a single bad independent woman, because they knew the simple fact was the men would lead, and it would be God over man, man over woman, woman over children. And the reality is the woman can sit there and nurture the kids and take care of the things in the household, while the men traditionally went out there and provide as providers and protectors known to be, right? And the thing is now is tying to this modern woman idea of modern women don't need men, and they can be out here and compete and they're just as equal as men and deserve the same amount as men. When in reality, let's be realistic here. Most men take on the most dangerous, most serious, most heinous jobs, and most of the success of women has been built off the back of men. You don't see a woman hanging on a crane or hanging on a skyline or trying to build a skyscraper or the tallest building in any city, right? You don't see them taking on the most dangerous jobs, let alone the men body can take the physical toll way more longer than the woman body. But I'm not trying to get off topic here, but the campaign, as you can see, ties back to what y'all think y'all talking about in regards to getting more money. Let her cook, as in y'all better get y'all behind back in the kitchen. And that's how people are looking at it. And that's why they saying it's sitting in the back 30 years. So let's put it all together. We have a fan poll that confirms the terrifying truth for the Indiana Fever, their entire franchise, their ticket sales, their relevance. It all hinges on a 122-year-old rookie. And you have a record smashing rookie card sale that puts a hard dollar amount on that reality. They aren't just managing a basketball player, they're trying to manage an economic supernova. And right in the middle of the high stake balancing act, Gatorade comes crashing through the wall with his Let Her Cook campaign, a PR catastrophe that was equal parts cringe and condescending, or I should say, the condescension of it. And it was loud, clumsy, and embarrassing confirmation of a problem we all knew was there. Major brands still have no clue on how to talk about or to women's sports. And the Indiana Fever are ground zero for their entire phenomenon. They have the generational talent that could change the league, but they are also sitting on a power kick. If Clark leaves, the whole operation goes up in smoke, and the question is no longer about winning basketball games. It's rather the Fever had the first clue how to handle a superstar of this magnitude before it all blows up in their face. And if you made it this far, thanks for watching. Hit that like button if you get any value from this rant. And make sure you subscribe and turn your post notifications on so you don't miss the next one. Click the video. Um, the referring video to another video. Click the video on your screen now for another deep dive into the business of sports. Um, but also I was thinking, should I share you guys or try to show you guys the jokes of the campaign real quick? Because I want you guys to see the sentiment of the people before I close. See, this is what I meant, family. And this is the prime example of what I was trying to relate to you guys on how the world is looking at this. And while it's very disrespectful in regards of the whole thing that the league is trying to do with the collective bargaining agreement, because it's like, look, are y'all not even worth y'all salt, or y'all don't even make money enough? Why should the league be paying you when you ain't making no money out? You ain't making no money. How somebody owe you when you ain't even profitable to even deserve the amount of money to justify you getting more money? That's like you not being very effective or efficient in this case when it comes to pure entertainment, that you're not entertaining enough to justify for you to even be profitable, for you to even ask more money. So you better be grateful for what you got. And it looks like an ungrateful act, because then it all resorts back to this one thing: let her cook. So let me know what you guys think. For real, I'm closing now. On that note, family, catch you in the next one. Peace.